I believe feeling depressed is real.
Tonight on Piers Morgan Uncensored, one of the most infamous men in the world, Andrew Tate's misogynistic tirades have been viewed billions of times online.
I do not believe it's a disease that you catch from the sky and you cannot affect.
He's now been effectively banned, though, from the internet. He doesn't think that's fair. Tonight, I'm going to try and work out if it is.
A lot of people are completely empty vessels ready to be programmed. The money's not real. It's not real. Money's not real. It's numbers on the screen. It's not a real thing.
Should not young men, though, all aspire to be like you?
Should young men aspire to work very hard, have no criminal record, become multimillionaires, protect and provide for the women close to them, be sovereign so they can stand up and have their own points of view and face a cancellation, be able to not be mentally intimidated when they go on national TV and there's traps set up for them? Yeah. My message is to resist the slave mind. I say this all the time. To understand that every single thing you're being told has an agenda behind it, or you wouldn't be told it otherwise. To examine every strongly held belief you have and try and identify where it comes from and why you have it. I sit and argue with people, I discuss things with people, and they so fervently believe a point. And I say, why do you believe that so much? Like, do you have personal experience? No, but I saw the news. Why do you believe? The news told you X, and now you are desperate. You will sit here for hours arguing that point. A lot of people are completely empty vessels ready to be programmed. And I try and tell people, listen, to just stop for a second and understand that the things they're telling you to believe are not necessarily for your benefit. The people who make the rules don't make the rules for the benefit of everybody. They make the rules for the benefit of the people who make the rules.
Yeah.
It's the game. So telling people to resist a slave mind and just be critical thinkers, keep their brain open, pay attention to things, be perspicacious. In the Matrix, there's an artificial reality, a computer-generated reality, and people are being harvested for their body heat in a real world, and their minds are being occupied by this computer-generated reality. And the basic premise of the show is that their body is being used for what is important, and they just distract their mind so that their body can stay alive long enough to give the machines what they want. And I really truly believe that's a perfect analogy for the world today. We live in a world where people are being extracted for their value, their physical value, whether you're digging holes or carrying garbage or whatever. And your mind is constantly distracted by garbage. It's distracted by TV shows and concerts and clown world. I call it clown world because it's a never-ending circus. All this garbage they distract you with. First it's COVID, and then Putin cures COVID the day he invades and COVID's cured. And it's all just a big scam from head to toe. And the reason I call it the Matrix is because a false reality is being projected onto humanity, and they do that by controlling narratives. If they allowed people to have critical and open conversations about, let's say, COVID, at the height of the pandemic, it never would have lasted 3 years. But the reason, because they censor and delete one entire side of the argument, then you're only left with their version of reality, and they're projecting a reality. And they do that with nearly every subject. There are so many subjects you can't have an open discussion on. And if they delete all of one side and only keep one side there, then that's a false paradigm, it's a false reality, and that's what they're doing. They're convincing people to act in certain ways and do certain things which are not necessarily in their best interest, or necessarily true. We live in a world where I don't think the average person realizes how much they are lied to. From the way money works is a lie, financial system is a lie, judicial system is a lie, medical health care is a lie. It's all a lie, it's all a scam. Just go to work, pay your taxes. And that's why I call it the Matrix. It's just narrative control.
Right.
The agenda is narrative control, and as long as they control a narrative, they can control the populace to do whatever they need them to do. It doesn't matter if they convince you to be afraid of the common cold and stay in your house and destroy your own business and not see your own fucking grandmother for 2 years. It doesn't matter if they convince you that the planet is setting on fire and global warming is real, and now for some reason if they tax you, it'll fix it. It doesn't matter what it is. They create a narrative. They prevent people from talking the counter to that narrative. They now own reality. You change all the Google search results, everything online says a certain thing must be true, and then you weaponize it for your own benefit, whether it's higher tax rates or more control over or movement or giving people's freedoms away, etc. The world used to be based on freedom, especially in the Western world. During communism, etc., the Western world used to stand up and say, the difference between us and the communists is that we're free. You live in this country, it's a free country, it's a free country. But that's not the truth anymore. So now that everyone's starting to slowly understand it's not a free country, you have to replace the freedom with something else. And the only thing that humanity will accept in return for freedom is safety. So they say, listen, you're no longer free. You can no longer say what you want to say or go where you want to go or do what you want to do. You can't go outside for these 3 years. You can't do that. You can't drive that car because of fucking the polar ice caps, whatever it is. But don't worry, it's for your safety. We're gonna keep you safe. And that's what it is. It's all a big fucking scam. It's a lie. The people in charge of your world don't give a shit about our safety. If something bad happened to you, heaven forbid, let's say me. Let's say I got a terrible disease. Let's say I got cancer and I went to the NHS. I'd be waiting fucking months to get anything done. But then they want to text me 4 times a day, begging me to take an injection. And that's for my own good. It's bullshit. It's a scam. It's a fucking scam. Head to toe, all of it's a scam. It's a lie. I have this saying and nobody seems to understand it. I say money's not real. And people say, what do you mean money's not real? Money's not real. It's not real. Money's not real. It's numbers on the screen. It's not a real thing. And once you start putting systems in place that generate huge sums of money, and once you get to the point where money basically has no value, like I do, I can go buy a Ferrari today and my bank balance will look basically the same. It doesn't change anything. So money isn't real. It's just numbers. It's all fucking invented. It's printed from the sky. It's garbage. You just have to find a way to make people understand your value, and yeah, it can just appear from absolutely nowhere. And I went from completely broke to hundreds of millions of dollars. And I know what you're saying in regards to this other world, because there is a subsect to humanity. It's kind of strange. When I was broke, when I was on a council estate in Luton, I thought everyone was poor. And now that I have money, it kind of feels like everyone's rich. I go to buy a plane and they're like, no, I'm sold out. I thought you fucking sold out of planes? I go to buy a Bugatti and they're like, sold out. I'm like, all the shit's
Who are these people?
Yeah, everyone's bought everything. Like,
Yeah.
And it's crazy how many people out there have such ridiculous sums of money, truly ridiculous sums of money. There are so many rich people in the world, and it's kind of like your reality is based on, it's the Matrix, right? If you're broke, everyone's broke. If you're rich, everyone's rich. And a lot of people have this separation. I was lucky to live in both worlds, but a lot of people have this separation.
Yeah.
So.
You can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The Matrix.
Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it.
And I was walking to school, to college with a couple of my friends, and a Ferrari drove past. I said, bro, you see that? And he goes, yeah, what about it? I said, doesn't that piss you off? I must be about 16. He goes, why? I said, this dude has 400 G's for a car, 400 grand. I'm walking 4 miles to college because my mom hasn't got any car. He has 400 grand. Do you think he works a job? Do you think he's fucking behind a counter somewhere? He knows something about the world that I don't know. And they were like, well, he's rich. I'm like, yeah, I know. I didn't say he wasn't rich, dummy. I'm saying he knows something about the world I don't know. And I was intrigued and it angered me. I couldn't sleep for weeks. I was pissed off. Every time I saw somebody with genuine money, I understood that everything I was being told and taught and they were trying to make me believe just simply wasn't true. I was like, this is bullshit. None of these people are getting these things by following the path that the system is trying to make me follow. Nobody, and everybody intrinsically knows this. If you go to if you're at a BP, you're at a petrol station, and I pull up in my Lamborghini, nobody goes, wow, he went to school. He studied hard.
Right.
Do they fuck? They're like drug dealer, gangster. And they do that because they know that the easiest way to amass wealth is to break the rules, because the rules are not designed to allow most people to make money. You can make money within the rules, of course you can, but most people don't. Most people who follow the path work, consume, die. That's it.
Yeah.
So I always knew the same thing as you, and I knew there had to be another way.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.